The story of the Christian Martyrs will forever remain etched in the history that shaped the creation of modern Uganda. This is a story that has both fascinated and inspired local Christianity and around the world.
One of the great people in the world said one time, that was Tertullian, he said, "The blood of the martyrs is the seed of Christianity." The Ugandan martyrs have had a great impact on not only Ugandans, not only Africans, but to also other areas of the world.
The Martyrs' story is fascinating because of the bravery of the scores of young men who laid down their lives for the new religion which was sweeping through the kingdom of Buganda. It was the story of faith and conviction. The events that immediately triggered off the Martyrs that resulted into the Uganda Martyrs began here on the shores of Lake Victoria in Munyonyo one hot afternoon on May 25, 1886. Kabaka Mwanga was living in temporary royal court here because of the destruction of the main one in Mengo by fire. Traditional leaders constantly warned him about the dangers of the new religion. Mwanga was angry at his subjects for following a white god and was fearful that they would eventually abandon him. Worse still, most of his pages were Christian converts, yet they were supposed to obey him without question.
Believing in him, they will be among those who inherited the kingdom of heaven. So they decided to obey the ruler of heaven rather than the ruler of the earth.
Andrew Kagwa was the head bandsman and was favorite of Mwanga as well as his constant companion on hunting trips. He was also tipped to be the chancellor, and it was believed that the then chancellor, Mukasa, expedited his execution out of envy. As proof of his death, the executioners cut off one of his arms and presented it to the chancellor, Mukasa. The rest of the condemned Christians were frog-marched to Namugongo, one of the traditional execution grounds in Buganda. They were shackled and tortured and beaten throughout the trek to Namugongo. The choice of Namugongo as the site where the Christian martyrs were executed was no surprise. Many of the martyrs were either royal pages or were sub-chiefs, and Namugongo was the execution site for the king's royal victims. Charles Lwanga, the man who initially replaced Joseph Barikudembe as leader of the Christian pages at Mwanga's palace in Munyonyo, was burnt separately from the rest of the martyrs here in Namugongo, where the Catholic church shrine to the martyrs is found. It is believed that if the palace at Mengo had not been destroyed, the number of martyrs might have been higher. In the end, the numbers were small because the temporary court at Munyonyo, where the executions were ordered and pages and officials rounded up, was too small to accommodate all the royal court workers. While Kabaka Mwanga sought to stem the tide of Christianity by executing its key adherents, the action only served to cement Christianity in Uganda.
Uganda, the Parl of Africa, has hosted the highest number of popes, and they have all been to this ground. So that's how special this place is. Now, people come here basically to reflect on the journey that these young people moved through. And that is our point, that when you come to this place, you live different.
Indeed, without these martyrs, the story of Christianity in Uganda might have been a different one. It might not have been the compelling and inspiring story it has come to be, one that continues to attract hundreds of thousands of Christians from far and wide to Namugongo to relive the lives of brave young Christian converts who died for their faith.